Hello all and welcome to a new YouTube video on the Third Man Musings. We have already previewed 6 sides now for the IPL and we'll be previewing 4 more sides. Today our seventh side is Punjab Kings, which was earlier known as Kings 11 Punjab. Kings 11 Punjab have always been a side which has been hard to associate with rationale, right? A classic example being they had 32 crores left in the auction this time. They spent only
Exactly.
20. They had still 12 crores left. God knows what happened with those 12 crores, but they couldn't fix the gaps in their squad. So that will be interesting to see whether they'll live to regret that later on. And they have been a underachieving side. Out of 15 years in the IPL, they've only qualified for the playoffs twice. Their best performance being in the 2014 IPL, where they qualified for the finals. So they have a lot to prove still. There has been one good buy in the auction, which was Sam Curran, and an underrated buy, which was Sikandar Raza. But can they turn it around this year? Sumit, what are your thoughts before we analyze the squad and the playing 11? Do Punjab have some X factor going for them this time?
So X Factor definitely because they got Karan, who was the best bowler in the World Cup, and his newfound death bowling. He was always a good hitter, as we saw in CSK. So they got that X Factor player, but again, 20 crores, 32 crores purse, 12.2 crores left, meaning you spent 20 crores, out of which 18 crores was spent on one player, and then you forgot to buy anybody else. Then you took Sikandar Raza in the second round when he was unsold in the first. Nes Wadia walked out because I think he figured that again this season is not going to go well. He like just screw it and let them buy whatever players they can. But by then nobody was left. So and this is a team which has that saying there's a popular saying, right? What is the definition of insanity? So it is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting things to turn out different. So this team keeps chopping and changing again and again and again and again, but they somehow never learn from it. I mean, anyways, they never qualify. So I think they should just, you know, play one season and just develop talent so that next year they can perform. But they keep going for these solution like shortcut solutions. One good thing about this team is they are the team who originally introduced baseball in last IPL. So they were refreshing, and the attacking approach with Livingston and Bhanu Paksha, Rajapaksha, and that really was the highlight in the initial part. But then I think they forgot the second part of baseball, which is winning cricket. So they kept losing the games after a point, and then there was no point of the whole baseball. So they were exciting as long as Livingston was playing, and if Livingston did his job, because he had the second highest runs for them, around 400 plus at a 190 strike rate. So he was by far their best player, and he was very exciting to watch. But other than that, they were really lacking several departments. So we'll go over the squad, and we can still identify a lot of gaps in here. So in the batsmen, Dhawan is the captain, so he'll be starting off and providing that base foundation. And that again, one of the issues. Again, see the muddle thinking. They bought Dhawan in last to last year's auction. They had Mayank already. You knew you had Mayank, and the poor guy then was made the captain, and he was batting at 405, and he failed miserably. So then had to be let go. So they had a good batter, but they then wasted him, and now he's gone. And now he will be shining for SRH, is my guess. So Dhawan has a lot on his plate as a captain and opener. Shah Rukh Khan was one of the big buys last to last auction, and he failed miserably. They need to provide confidence to such players because he's a brilliant hitter. Like he's a huge dimension player, and he can be our Pollard, like Punjab's Pollard, and then probably Indian team's Pollard in the future. He has that physique and that hitting ability, but he needs to be harnessed. So I hope he's used better and not just dropped and given like a proper run and said that okay, you just play your game. Maybe promote him, not play him at 7 and for 5 6 balls. Bhanuga Rajapaksha, I think his greatest achievement has been beating Pakistan in the Asia Cup final. Other than that, I don't remember this guy really doing a lot. He hit some quick 20-30s, but not a very consistent player. So I doubt he's going to set it on fire. Jitesh Sharma was the surprise find in the middle of the tournament. That's, I think, one young talent they harnessed after all these years. And he was a very good keeper, very good number 4-5 who would play with Livingston and get the impetus. So I hope he has a good second season because he really looked very good. But I'm missing again one of those backup keepers they keep. Johnny Bairstow is a good is an interesting one because the ECB is yet to give him a clearance certificate, so he might not come to the IPL for all you know. And then again, that begs the question that Mayank dropped himself for Johnny to play at five. Now Johnny is injured and they don't have an opener. It's a very typical Punjab scenario. So let's hope he makes it. It was a very exciting opener. But if he doesn't make it, then I think Jason Roy is slated, who again is a very Punjab type player who's not consistent. But knowing Punjab, I think they'll go and buy him also. So yeah. Coming to all-rounders, I think this is where their strength is. They have three very quality all-rounders. And what do you see in terms of Sikandar Raza? I mean, I really like this guy,
Yeah,
and
the
he's just ignored.
T20 World Cup, he impressed one and all, especially the
Yes.
match against Pakistan. I think
Oh yeah, the
Zimbabwe were
bowling.
able to pull off that match because of Sikandar Raza, right? I mean, very good batsman, very good middle order batsman, can get going from ball one, and very handy off spinner. Right? He's a bowler who can
Let
get
me
bounce off
spinner.
the pitch as well with his
Uh-huh.
off spin. So, especially with Bairstow not making it this year, most likely at least that opens the doors for Sikandar Raza, and that's a feel good story, right? A person from Zimbabwe making it to an IPL 11,
Mm,
always there's a good story to that. And Karan and Livingston will have to take the large lion's share of the responsibility for this
responsibility.
team, right? Because both of them will have to get cracking from ball one, whether it be with the bat or with the ball as well. Karan brings in that dimension of new ball bowling, death over bowling. Plus, he can be a good batsman lower down the order as well, right? Where he can really, let's say 60 is needed of 30 balls, right? He's the ideal guy you want to send in. And Livingston last year, I mean, I still remember those huge sixes he hit, right? So he is the X factor player for this team, and one who oppositions will genuinely fear.
Yeah,
So the all-rounders have to shine for Punjab to have a good season.
that's yeah. Bowlers. I think they plugged that gap. So they had Arshdeep and Rabada last year. So they got Karan in. So now they actually have. So that's one thing they have plugged in. I would say because their death bowling has been horrible all these years. So they actually got three very good death bowlers. Now let's see how they screw that up as well. That's something I'm curious about. Or it finally works after all these years that they are a good bowling side. Because batting has a lot of holes as we'll see in a lineup. So Arshdeep, like a certified Indian player now, a senior bowler, at least in the T20 format. So expect good things from him. Rabada, very handy IPL bowler, a lot of wickets. And this year he can be used like an enforcer because you have Karan and Arshdeep to bowl at the death. So this year might be a better year for him than last year also, even though he got 22 wickets last year. Nathan Ellis is one of those slow bowlers who keep bowling these varieties. So not a very bright future, but he might play if there's some injury. Harpreet Brar is like the RCB specialist, as we say. He keeps taking wickets against RCB, but
Yeah,
otherwise really
couple
doesn't
of
do much.
traumatic matches for us, I remember.
He got Kohli, Maxwell, everybody in one match. That's
Yeah,
22
yeah. I
So
mean, he can tell his grandchildren that story, right? Yeah.
he's like a, but he's a decent player. I mean, he's a handy batter at eight, and then the bowling is decent. So nothing, no X factor, right? Somebody who can just go through the opposition with the bowling, like somebody like a Rashid or somebody. So the quality is a problem. He's a good, consistent player, but not an X factor. Rahul Chahar had a very good IP last season. So after coming from Mumbai, so he's a decent bowler against somebody who was shockingly in a World Cup squad, and now nobody remembers him even him and Chakravarti. So this is another year to show that he exists and get a call for the national team later on. Greenhorns, Raj Baba. So he's one of the exciting players. Did you see him last year? I think he got one or
Last
two
year
matches.
just got one or two matches, I think. Again, another under 19 World Cup star, right? Lot was expected from him, but obviously when you bring in a youngster on a big stage like this suddenly and you don't back them enough, then obviously it will be tough for them, right? So I think they should have backed him last year, maybe given him a good run of 5 6 games, but that didn't happen. But
Punjab.
who knows? This year they, with the batting order that they'll have to rejig, Raj Baba might have a good chance and a good run to show his capabilities. But a lot has been, we have
Heard
heard
about
a
him.
lot about him. Let's see if he can translate that potential. And Shivam Singh also, I think in this auction they picked him because, Shivam Singh has been a good performer in the domestic circuit. Again, can he bring that form in the IPL is a different question altogether. So they have some good players, some impact players, but can this squad come together as a team is what we need
Mhm.
to see.
Yeah. So coming to the possible 11. So This is something which I think me and Sujay worked on, and I think Punjab, we can help Punjab Kings a bit, where they can do a different combination rather than try their own luck, because they need to play Raza in. I mean, it was difficult to get Raza into the lineup because Livingston, Curran, and Rabada are like fixtures unless there's some injury. So there was only one slot available, which would have gone to Besto. But Besto being an having an injury might be a blessing in disguise, we feel. So you play Sikandar Raza, then you have Raza and Cheher, two very good spinners, and they could have played an extra batsman, but sadly they do not have any Indian batsmen. So that's again like one of those auction strategies which didn't make sense. Unless they did pick some base players at 20 lakhs later on in the auction. So if magically they have Mumbai Indians like scouting network and they find some hidden talent, then we will be pleasantly surprised. Otherwise, this is again going to be very difficult, because fitting in finding batsmen for this team was a task for both of us. And so that's why you see a very surprise addition at the top of Raj Baba being opener. Logic simply being, do something like what SRH did with Abhishek Sharma, somebody who was playing at 6-7 all his life, not getting the time to show his potential. Give this guy a go for 4-5 games at least and see how he does, because you don't have any other option as well, unless the scouted players are, we are missing somebody. So start with Raj Baba, start with Dhawan, and at three, again, we had a hole to fill. We were thinking who to fill, because Livingston at three would make sense if 6-7 overs are gone and you want to press on the accelerator. But in case of an early wicket, who are you going to send? Because technically correct batsmen they do not have. So then Jitesh Sharma would have to step up, unfortunately, because there's nobody else. And then you have the spine, which is pretty good. I think 4, 5, 6. I think we were very sure that yeah, this is a pretty good lineup to. And if you include a Shah Rukh Khan, who uh, is a destructive batsman when he's in form, so I have a very good 4-7 who can really pile on the runs with their approach of gung ho approach, right? Do you see any changes here, Sujay?
For me, when I see this team, right, again, I always try to, when I see a squad, I try to put myself in the opposition shoes and see what I feel about this squad, right? Now, when I see this squad, 4 to 6 looks very dangerous to me, right?
Mm.
But 1 to 3 are okay, and 7 to 11, apart from Rabada and Harshdeep, are okay. Right, so the three
Yeah,
players are the very strong players. Shikhar Dhawan will give you your 400 run season. I mean, we have seen
yeah.
him time and time again. He's consistent, but how many more match winning impactful knocks does he have in him, right? Don't forget he's
Mm.
turning 37 this year, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So and now he's been moved out of the ODI World Cup squad as well. So what is the motivation for him now, right? T20 World
Mm.
Cup not on the horizon. He's not in Test cricket. ODI cricket was his only hope, so he's not there also. So what are his motivations here this year? Maybe being the captain and winning a IPL for Punjab, right? The maiden IPL. That might be his only motivation. But
Yeah.
I don't know. This team, like on their odd day, they might be able to spring a
Yeah.
surprise. But Raza, Livingston, Karan, Rabada, these are the four players who need to have a big IPL for this team to make it through.
Mm.
Otherwise, you will see them again languishing somewhere around the seventh or eighth spot.
And the issue we see is the backups also. The backup foreigners are also not that good to give them that certainty. So Livingston himself is coming back from an injury, so we don't know how fit he'll be, in what kind of form he'll be in. So Sam Curran, after that auction, I think got hit in one of the England series. He recently went to Bangladesh and they lost the series to Bangladesh as well. So again, the Punjab curse hit the poor guy. So let's hope he's fun to watch in the death. I was very surprised in the World Cup when I saw him pulling so many good Yorkers. So let's hope it works out of Punjab, at least in the bowling front, because batting, I think this will be the team that's going to upset the top four calculations. I think teams who are
Yeah.
vying for the top 4, 5, and then they play Punjab, and normally Punjab are in a situation of nothing to lose because they are out of the tournament. They are going to create those upsets because this lineup has those 2, 3 players. I think that's going to be their role. I would
Yeah.
be very
And
surprised
as
if
an
they,
RCB fan, I am always
yeah, they
skeptical because they are like what New Zealand is to India, right?
in the end
Punjab is
ODI.
always the antithesis for RCB. So, and somehow they get over the line over RCB. So I am normally very wary of their team.
Yeah, even they don't know how they do it, I guess. So yeah, coming to the impact players, I think, and you can see in our impact players, all three are foreigners, so that says a lot about the scouting network. Again, I we would love to be proved wrong, and they find some new player who can play for India, because Punjab is one team which hasn't provided us anybody, I believe, and. that Gango approach was fun to watch. But
Arshdeep is one. Yeah.
oh yeah, okay. And he became. It's like he got hit so much. I think he became a bowler. I think that finishing school helped him. Rahul they gave us Rahul also. I mean Rahul I think blossomed in Punjab, right? Because RCB he was a
Yeah,
big part.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Then he got
Actually,
Punjab
Punjab is
Kings.
where he became that opener who started
The
hitting
bank.
attacks, right? Yeah. So
His captaincy really, I mean, considering he was a future captain of India, and captain Punjab, not the best place to learn your captaincy because you don't have the players to pull it off. So yeah, so impact players as we discussed, Livingston, Karan, Rabada. So Livingston with his awesome batting, the useful off spin, useful leg spin, good fielder. I hope he remains fit. I mean, he's a very exciting player to watch. If anybody want to watch in Punjab, do watch this guy if you haven't, because he was brilliant last season. The way he was just came and changed matches. Sam Curran, the price tag might play a factor. I really think it's too much money. So you think, what do you see his chances
uh,
as? I'm very
I think
skeptical.
he'll have a good IPL because generally I've
Mm,
seen whenever he's come to India as an England player as well as
mm,
for CSK, right? He's always
that's
done
it.
well, especially with the
Yeah.
bat. He's done very well. So
Huh,
I
that's where we
feel,
discovered, right? His batting
yeah,
ability. Dhoni used him
yeah.
as a pinch hitter.
Correct,
Mm,
correct. He may not have an excellent season, but I'm sure he'll
mm,
have a good season at least, right? So that
correct.
will be interesting whether he can make the transition because he's always, whether it be an England team or whether it be a CSK team, he's not been the top player, right? So that
Mm,
way he's
mm,
not had to carry that burden or extra pressure.
yes.
This time he'll be the top player, apart from Livingston, of course.
Livingston.
So can he handle that pressure in his short international career will be the one to see. But he has the goods, right? Excellent bowler, excellent
Yeah.
batsman, and a handy fielder as well. So
Yeah.
I want to see at least for Punjab what Sam Curran does this season.
And that death polling which he discovered recently, so
Right,
that is one of the best things you could have learned, I mean, as a skill set, and which opens up the slot for Rabada, as we discussed. Like he can be used as an enforcer with the new ball or in the middle overs, because Rabada does get the wickets in the final overs, but he gets hit a lot also. So I think with Arshdeep and Karan, Rabada gets that opportunity to be the partnership breaker,
right.
combined with Rahul Chahar in the middle overs. So that part excites me, these four bowlers together, and then they can get supported by Harpreet Brar and Shah Rukh Khan. He bowls a bit of spin, and obviously Sikandar Raza. But knowing Punjab, they won't play him initially, but that and then they will come to him hopefully. But by then maybe it's too late. So too many questions here. But I would love to see give Raza 4 5 games, see how he is, because he's a typical subcontinent player. I mean, as subcontinent player you can get from a foreigner as you can, right? And
Right.
he in the PSL also is doing a very good job. So they need to trust the youngsters, and I just hope for their sake, whatever lineup they choose in the first game, they stick to it for at least 4 games. Even if it's you lose the first 4 games, it's okay because either ways you're not qualifying, so might as well give opportunities and try to find some starts. So that's my hope for them this year at least.
Yeah, yeah. So,
Yeah.
folks, that was our analysis for Punjab Kings. As per our analysis, as I said, the first challenge for us was to make a proper 11, right? Given the deficiencies in the squad, so I think the Punjab team management, especially Trevor Bellis and Shikhar Dhawan, have a task on their hands to bring this team together. They say cricket is a funny game. You never know when underrated side can become champions,
Mm.
but very difficult. I think both of us agree, and a lot of fans who will
Yeah.
watch this podcast will agree. Punjab will have to do something magical for them to make it to the playoffs. Otherwise, it will be a routine story like end seventh or eighth every year, and just exist in the IPL, right? So
Yeah,
I hope
and
at
then
least even if they don't make it to the playoffs, at
mm,
least give something to their fans. Their fans must be appreciated. I don't know
I
how
don't
every
know
season
how many
they
are left.
back them with such mediocre performances, right?
Yeah, and what you said, right? They could put a banner in the locker room that cricket is a funny game. I think that's what they need to read every day and believe that
Right,
okay, we can do something here
right,
because they have the X factor players. That's the only thing I see here. But
right.
I hope they find some Indian players to back up Dhawan because barring if you see this lineup, barring Dhawan and Arshdeep, which is 1 and 11, you really are struggling with Indian players here. So
Right,
I really hope we see something different which we couldn't find, and
right.
they are competitive. Even if they don't qualify, just be in the reckoning at least till the end, which they normally aren't. So yeah, That's pretty much
Right.
from our side. Let's see.
Yeah, so that was it from our side. Punjab fans, please let us know your thoughts. We might have come slightly hard on you, but I mean, we'll be happy to be proved wrong. But it's tough to see this team making it. But let's see. At least let's hope that they play as kings, right? They have that in their title,
Yeah.
so hopefully they'll actually play like kings and try to dominate this time around. A few players are really exciting, so Punjab fans will hope they really shine this year. On that note, so we are now done with the preview of 7 teams. There are just 3 more teams left. We have had a great time previewing all these teams, learnt a lot. Please do
Yeah.
share your thoughts. It means a lot to us. And we'll see you very soon. So stay tuned. And it's a wrap from us. Take care and bye bye.
Thank you.